For the very latest, let's cross live now to our senior reporter, Catherine Norris Trent, who's in neighbouring Benin. Catherine, just in the latest developments coming into us a short time ago, coup leaders now saying that they are rebuffing ECOWAS efforts to send a delegation to Niger. What is the latest there?
Well, as this political crisis in Niger simmers on, it certainly seems that current attempts for dialogue to find diplomatic solutions are proving unfruitful. So the latest is that the junta in Niger, the coup leaders, have refused permission for an ECOWAS delegation to visit Niamey and speak with their leaders as of today. They were supposed to be flying out from Nigeria, including a former Nigerian leader among that high-level delegation. But a statement apparently from the coup leaders said that given that ECOWAS has imposed economic sanctions on Niger, and because of the security situation, they said they do not think that the time is right for such a visit. So it seems that there is an impasse there. No doubt that will be featuring on talks in Abuja this Thursday, when ECOWAS leaders have called for an extraordinary meeting. And this comes hot off the heels of an unfruitful visit by the #2 US diplomat, Victoria Nuland, who flew into Niger to hold meetings with senior coup figures, although not the coup leader, General Chiani. She wasn't granted an audience with him, nor was she allowed to see the ousted President Mohamed Bazoum, who is still under house arrest, a hostage he describes himself as. And those talks apparently unfruitful too. Victoria Nuland said that she spoke for 2 hours in often difficult talks with members of the junta in Niger, trying to stress upon them the dangers of allowing Wagner mercenaries into their country. But any propositions that the US made at this point have been rejected. So while the crisis rumbles on, so does the attempts at diplomacy, although it's quite difficult to see exactly where it goes from here.
And Catherine, talk to us a little bit more about the regional implications of what's happening in Niger. Where you're standing would usually be a hub of activity, I presume. How is all of this playing out in neighbouring Benin?
Exactly. We are down at the port, near the port of Cotonou in Benin. You can see that behind me there. And usually it is a hub of activity with many, many lorries and trucks from Niger arriving there to pick up food and supplies and take northwards towards Niger, which is a landlocked country and depends on its links with neighbouring countries in order to get a lot of its very much needed supplies. Those borders, as part of the ECOWAS sanctions, are closed at the moment, and so that activity at the port of Cotonou is at the moment under a complete stop. We know from our sources in Niger that that is already having a biting impact on the ground there, with people very quickly running out of supplies and prices spiralling for things like food and medicines and other necessities. But also here in Benin and no doubt in other neighbouring states in this West African region, it's starting to bite too. They've noticed food inflation and they're concerned about where this could go from here. Public opinion in Benin is not in favour, it seems, of a military intervention in neighbouring Niger. People saying that they don't want to see their armed forces attacking who they see as basically brothers in some areas. The foreign minister of Benin had come out and said that troops from Benin would be ready to join any ECOWAS military intervention, and that was met with a lot of very angry reaction on social networks here. And this is something we've been seeing throughout the region, of popular feeling, hoping that this won't spiral into a conflict which could have a very damaging and devastating impact on the people of this area and the people of Niger.
Catherine, thank you so much for that update. That is our senior reporter, Catherine Norris Trent, joining us from Benin.